welcome back to the show. Last but definitely not least, we have our Academy Showcase where Counterlogic Gaming Academy will be facing off against Dignitas Academy, and we will open with some starting rosters. Selecting the blue side is CLG Academy. In the top lane is Deus. In the jungle is Fragas. Tuesday in mid. Wind the bot lane with support Phil and Coach Exo.
You can see a few people still filling into the stage as there are a couple of empty chairs there for CLG Academy. On the red side, though, it is going to be Dignitas Academy. It's going to be Lourlo in the top lane soon. Akaadian is sitting there in jungle. Damonte in mid. Fenix in bot and Olleh on support. Interestingly, while they are an Academy team, I feel like all these players have been in LCS before.
You know, I feel like they have. There's a chance. Someone could fact check me whether or not Olleh has done anything in the LCS before. I mean, maybe
won a
couple of titles. You know, not really sure. But Dig is, of course, incredible. You can see all these players and all these other jerseys they've worn, as they have had collectively years of LCS experience. Damonte popping off there. But yeah, high pressure, high expectations on them. These players are really incredible.
Yeah, I am looking at this as like a really good backup plan if the Dignitas LCS team doesn't work well. I mean, every single one of these players, if they perform well in Academy and the LCS counterpart isn't playing well, I could foresee a situation where they're going in. You know, we have Damonte, who actually went to Worlds last year. We have Fenix, who's done a role swap down to AD carry. Now, you know, you got Caps, you got Perks, you got Fenix. The mid laners turned ADC. Not quite there, but I mean, at least in his first game of Academy, he was very good. On Echo Fox as a mid laner, that's actually a good win-loss for an Echo Fox player.
Yeah.
So when Fenix was in, he was doing fairly well.
Yeah, I also want to talk about, on the other side, CLG's top laner, Deus. I love this guy's background when I was researching him earlier this week. Did play Scouting Grounds way back in like 2016-ish. Technically played a single game on North American Challenger and Gold Coin United, and then became an LCL and a Korean import. He played on BBQ Oliver's, coached by none other than LS himself. Came back over to North America, rolls up top lane during Challenger's career. They needed a top laner. Staying up there now, normally a mid laner for himself. This man, one of the few NA exports to Korea, has come back.
That's a journeyman story. I also know that occasionally for the Academy games, they do allow a player to play remote if necessary. So I'm not 100% sure if Deus will be playing remote for this game, but it is definitely a possibility. And that's just bouncing around in so many different players. That's commitment to trying to make it all the way, right? Like all these guys, their eventual goal is to make it to the LCS.
And it's going to be an exciting one, honestly. We do have some time to go. We have most of Dignitas in the lobby right now, CLG waiting on them. So I want to take a little bit of time here as we wait for the players to set up, if it's going to be a little bit longer, to reflect on the week of LCS so far, right? It's season 2020. The map itself has changed. The teams and rosters have changed by a lot as well. I think there's kind of a lot to dissect and discuss before Monday's games as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been an interesting first week. They already mentioned on the analyst desk the fact that one of TL or TSM is going to go 0-2, where people thought, hey, maybe that'll happen to TL with the jungle substitution, having to play against C9 and TSM, but then to also see TSM drop that game to Immortals today was very shocking. And then two of the three first place teams in FlyQuest and Dignitas, like, I wouldn't even say that Dignitas had a particularly easy schedule. Like, they played CLG and EG, which are two projected playoff teams for many.
Yeah.
So I thought the biggest winners of week one were probably Dignitas. Maybe FlyQuest to be number 2, but I thought their schedule ended up being much easier.
Yeah.
And Dignitas Academy here would have a chance to have that 4-0 open if they're able to win here on stage.
Yeah, the expectation is, of course, they will. Dig did win yesterday. CLG did lose in the opening setup, so we'll see if this goes through as well as picks and bans have begun, and Mordekaiser is dropped off the table. Of course, we'll see what Dig can do for themselves. Fenix so far has not played a mage in the bottom lane in Academy. Misfortune was his debut game, did just fine. Damonte had like a 26 KDA on Zoe, so you know, that was an easy one.
He was also laning against Kumo's Ornn.
That's fair. You know, that's a freebie.
So we'll see.
Well, Tom Kench off the table. Rumble and Akali dropped off here. Tuesday spent a long time on CLG. One of the essentially like founding, like he was on CLG Black back in the day. Like CLG already had an Academy team, and Tuesday was on it. He's back here in the lineup here as well. Didn't get to talk about Wind very much. Wind and Deus were teammates, by the way. Wind also played over on BBQ Oliver's in Challengers Korea. But that was like, he was the dedicated starter the whole time through. But either way, they're back together. They're ready to go. I love the anti-hover. We got the LS shout out with the anti-hover. I really do love that.
Very true. Elise, which is often banned, ends up going through to CLG. Don't mind that one. We did have peak hovers in our first game.
We really did.
Or, sorry, in our, I guess it was the second game of the day when CLG played against FlyQuest just now. Oh my goodness, so many hovers.
Woo. MF instantly grabbed here, and want to point out, Aphelios not banned, Senna not banned. Fenix thinks MF is the go-to bot laner here.
Yeah, I mean, and also both of these teams did play Misfortune in their first Academy game, so can't completely disagree with it. So far, MF definitely going to be one of those very strong laning phases, and I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. MF Thresh worked for them in game 1, they're doing it again here.
Alrighty, now it's back to CLG's side to determine what they can do for themselves. Fragas joining the lineup this time around, new this year. So he don't pick for himself. Got time to tick down. Already has the Elise for himself to pick for the rest of the squad. And they say, okay, we'll grab a support. And I wonder if you even rush to Aphelios Senna. I mean, yes, both can be banned during the second ban phase. Are you afraid of that? Do you want that to be, you know, the legacy here, pushing you down a tier?
Yeah, I think they should do Aphelios here, but there is a lot of champion pool things you'd be trying to consider. You also always have to wonder what a team's goals are in Academy.
Woo! Nice. Okay. They're going for a win lane win game. I mean, I think Draven should outlane MF if you can play forward. Yeah. Generally speaking, Thresh tends to be fairly squishy. As soon as Aftershock is down, you go on him again, and this time he dies.
Yep.
So I could see that working pretty well. I could see CLG getting a win of the 2-on-2.
Yeah, so both teams just hard locking in their bot lane jungle, making it so the next phase is going to be completely dedicated to solo lane bans. And I'll kind of get back to the, like, what are you doing in Academy question? Because ultimately everyone's goal is to make LCS. So, like, teams and players need to figure out the best way to do so. Is it by showing that you can be lane dominant with Draven, or is it let me master all of these meta champions so if I get pulled up, I'm as versatile as possible? I don't know, right? Like, it's going to depend on each player. From this draft, it looks like both of these guys are saying, with the MF pick and the Draven pick, with Aphelios Senna just being absent, this is not an LCS game. Like, they're not practicing that environment. That would never happen in LCS. So I found it interesting. I actually wish we were seeing Senna Aphelios here, but can understand why they're going about Draven.
Yeah, I guess I'll take a slightly different point of view, which is I like the Viper school of stuff, where it's like, hey, if you let up Riven, look what I can do. But you play Riven 3 or 4 games to split and play Aatrox and Ornn and stuff the rest of the time. You're like, wow, every time I get Riven, I get a triple kill and win a team fight for us. Yeah, I'm a top laner who can also, by the way, pocket pick and force bans. Like, that's my ideal location for a player.
Right.
And hey, if Win puts on 3 first play Draven games to split and then plays Aphelios the rest and MF the rest, like, all right,
sure,
you know what?
That works.
That's exactly what I wanted from you. Like, you have shown me something that is exciting, that I'm interested in picking up. Let's see this happen. Of course, Win coming in from Korea, right, does take an import slot. You know, that can be a constraint on players. So you have to kind of be heads and shoulders above, you know, a domestic player because of the roster constraint, you know, down the line. And something like this is what helps sell it for me. Pantheon off the table, LeBlanc, Orianna, Zoe banned away. Damonte, of course, had that great Zoe game back on Friday. And Aatrox comes through for Lourlo.
Yeah, so that is now 3/5 of their day 1 composition. Lourlo, Fenix, and Olleh are playing the same champions. It is impossible for them to round out the whole composition, as you mentioned, because the Elise was taken away from them. That's what Akaadian played, and the Zoe has been banned, which is what Damonte.
So into the Aatrox goes the Ornn. Of course, it's very easy with Ornn. You can W or E, to be honest, to get away from the chain pullback. Overall, Ornn, very, very good laner overall, and with Conqueror not doing true damage, you can generally lane against that pretty well as a tank. And Tuesday goes in for the Irelia.
Oh, nice.
Unless they want to move it around and we see Ornn mid again. That seems unlikely, but you never know.
I think Ornn mid is actually pretty good. I think you can wash a lot of laning phases and kind of go from there with potential roams in the same way that a Nautilus or a Galio can be a good mid laner, but it does require a lot of team experience to go around. And Sylas.
I think Sylas is good after the remaster that came in at the beginning of the year. Took some relearning, don't get me wrong, but I think he's actually a very, very strong champion. The wave clear is weaker. That is objectively true. The Q does a lot less damage to minions overall, but his damage is very high, his ratios are really high, and he can absolutely blow people up.
Oh yeah, if you land E2, it's just
oh my gosh, they're dead.
Burst.
His late game scaling a lot higher. His early game durability is quite low, but around level 13 plus, it starts to kick in. He's actually quite tanky, just base stat wise in late game. Has fairly low cooldowns on his dashes, on his self healing. If you don't get one shot, you can get 2 W heals off. That healing is up as well. Like, if you are tanky enough to survive the first half of the team fight, you are an absolute machine.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if Damonte can pop off in this situation, right? Like, the road back for Damonte is to just kind of prove without a shadow of a doubt, like, yo, this dude should be in.
How
the
did
big
you not
leagues.
sign me?
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see what happens on Sylas. I like the pick.
Yeah, I think it's another one where I'm like, yeah, I want to see you show up with cool stuff. Like, Tuesday is you know, very journeyman academy player. He is fine for the academy league. He's been here for about 3-4 years at this point. And again, to prove your point, Damonte should style on this game, right? On a champion that, you know, I want to see the slightly out of meta picks at least once in a while. We already know the Zoe is hugely meta. We've seen several LCS mid laners play her. Had a, you know, again, like 25-2 overall game on her. So yeah, show me the Sylas. I like that as well. See him pop off. I think it's like, I mean, Dignitas Academy, to me, have maybe the single most stacked roster in this league. They're my front runner for winning the Academy split.
Agreed.
And I want to see him roll over people.
All right, the Stage Academy game at
Yep.
the end of Sunday. Try and get a little bit of showcase for these guys to make their arguments for going into the LCS. And the Glacial Augment Fenix doesn't seem, it seems like a graphical thing. I could have sworn I saw press the attack.
It's press the attack in game. Yeah, that's graphics.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
Damonte is
not-
Conqueror and not Electrocute. So we'll update that in a little bit.
It's getting fixed. We'll update you when it's real. Or you'll be able to tell.
Conqueror Ornn seems unlikely.
Yeah.
What's the most XD of these? I'm actually curious.
Ooh, PTA Nautilus.
Yes. I went in the line of like, that's troll. That's okay. That's troll. That's
It's
the worst one.
PTA Nautilus is the worst.
Aftershock Draven is second for me.
I think Comet Irelia would be worse
more
than
worse?
Aftershock Draven.
Ooh.
Yeah.
At least Comet does things, right? Her E and W and R all kind of spells.
Every time you get all into Draven, you can proc Aftershock. You just hold your E.
You know what? Okay.
And then, I mean, it's like Fiddle, right? It's a point and click
Yep.
Aftershock button.
Okay. You know what? I accept that.
That's worth it.
Okay.
Conquer
Conqueror Ornn's really hard to stack.
Release is actually a thing.
Okay, yeah, that was fine.
There's several challenger Korea junglers.
Oh, there's an invade. Hold on.
This is more important.
We got stuff going on. Fragas, he's going to have to flash over the wall. The flash follow Akaadian is going to chase. Land 2 more Qs and he's dead. There's the first. There's the swing. There is the kill. First blood is in. That blue buff goes to Dig as well.
Oh my god. That's bad.
What a
That's
start.
bad for Fragas. That's really bad. For an Olaf to get that kind of edge on you, and you to be down flash, blue gone. Where does Akaadian go from here? Probably just kind of full clears his own jungle, but you could really see what he should full clear blue side, you think.
Well, I wanna get the mind games here because you know, right? Fragas has to go red buff to can he try to steal blue? Like, do you make the call as Akaadian to like instant recall, take blue, invade rafters? Like, right? How much do you deny from him?
I don't think Fragas can ever try and get blue with his bottom lane being pushed like this.
Okay.
So this is Akaadian saying you're only ever going to get 3 camps, maybe.
He can smite this for free.
Okay, good.
Yeah. If you
yeah.
smite early and that gets stolen by hook, I would just like, all right, can we just go next? This is scrim.
But yeah, now Akaadian should run through, get his blue, and then go to red. But because he showed mid, he's leaving his own red exposed. I actually really don't like that.
I think if mid was pushed, he could have taken Raptors in his face.
Probably. Watching this one more time as we were memeing about runes, and Akaadian just shows up. Just blind into blue buff. Yeah, Fragas, easy flash follow.
I respect the flash there for sure.
And he's dead.
Yep. Alrighty, well, Akaadian back to his own chicken, so he did go and simply go back to his own top side. Guaranteed no more steals. Damonte very, very low. Wednesday be back, has a flash over the wall, but Tuesday, flash to follow. Akaadian gets a slow. That's going to be the change for the slow again. Next axe might kill. He's dancing. He's showing him what it means to be Akaadian. 2-0 in the jungle.
Oh, and Tuesday not instant flash following over to maybe get the last hit gives Damonte more time. to get more of his spells off. This is a good start for Akaadian's Olaf, I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure every scrim ever, they would say GG, go next. Like, this is one of those games you're like, yeah, you know what? We're not learning anything anymore. But this one, I'm already calling the speed run. Like, this feels so catastrophic.
It's rather catastrophic. I would completely agree. Watching this 1v1, I mean, Tuesday, Damonte's fighting a big minion wave does become a little dangerous, but he is playing towards his jungle, right? Has the flash away. Tuesday doesn't know exactly where he's going to be able to flash, and then, yeah, Damonte is just going to be able to cycle axes all the way down after his red was stolen by Elise.
Oof, a lot of pain right there. We got a quick pause.
That's too bad.
A little bit.
Have to look in to see what that was about.
2 remote players for CLG, as you can see. Deus and Wind both playing, not sure where, but either way, they're at least, you know, calling into the meeting, connecting to the server online, do the best they can. They're all on voice, of course, as well. Bot lane's going fine, you know, 26 CS each player. Top lane's actually +3 CS for Deus. It's really just mid jungle. That's really catastrophic here.
Yeah, Phil is the player who paused the game. Looks like he is just received word he's trying to fix his monitor for something, so hopefully it's not too long of a delay before he can get back into this one. Just as you were talking, like, wow, what a catastrophic early game. Can Dignitas speed run this one? You do never know, right? Depending on one thing going wrong or the bounty being lost by the Olaf, it would be the display that Dignitas wants to make in Academy when they sign such a powerhouse Academy roster.
I enjoy, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm non sequituring.
Do it.
Because I love every game reading player chat. All of Phil's cooldown tracks are in all chat.
That
So when they get invaded at 50 seconds, all chat, 540 jungle flash, 540 jungle flash.
But then he
Then
says,
gets ganked, does it again in all chat.
yeah, then he says, my bad macro. That's too bad.
So he's just like shift entering all chatting. He's like, I know your spell cooldowns. You want to correct it for me? You want to get me down to the exact second?
That's actually, do you think that's intentional or?
I don't know.
Because there is a level of mind game where you spam their flash timers to them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know how it was Doonby's pro view during Worlds. Like, he is the most spammy flash timer player in the world.
Yeah.
Like, he will max out chat all the time. If he just did that to all chat, it would actually be an advantage. The other team would have to disable all chat because he would scroll their flash timers off screen.
Okay. Wait, can you disable all chat in custom games?
Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can. There's been pro views where
They type GG and it's disabled.
No. I've seen LEC games where teammates mute their own team's pinks. It's happened.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, you can do it the other way.
All right, I guess you can mute Doinby at least himself as well.
But I actually wonder if the correct way of spamming flash timers is all chat to make them turn all chat.
But also like offset them by like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Just troll everybody.
I mean, eventually they'll know like, oh yeah, it's this team, just turn off your all chat.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be funny.
I never thought of that until this.
I want the misinformation all chat. That's like the thing I'm now about. Like I want to feel it come through. All right, well, game state right now is a 1,300 gold difference. Dignitas, sorry, just Dignitas. I correct myself, it used to be the other way around. But Akaadian and Damonte, yeah, they did all the early game stuff. Phil, I like this, really, really smart. And usually to me, that's on Olleh to say, hey, harass Phil, get him to break the freeze. But now this is a wave stacked up on the correct side of the lane.
Yep.
There's a second wave in. And Fenix is going to lose a lot of farm here.
Yeah,
He'll lose
no
about a
TP,
full wave.
Can't make it back. Do you have another non-sequitur? That was actually really fun.
No, he's sadly still doing Qmax. I really do think Wmax MF is correct. Is like the actual correct build because you never actually put people out of lane with Qmax.
Okay.
Like the rank up is not even that good. I just, you know, I really believe in just like auto attack speed being really valuable. You get more turret pressure, you get dragons faster. There's actually a lot of value in it. It's move speed as well to get back to your lane when you take recalls like this. I want to push for Wmax MF.
Akaadian continuing the early game powerhouse, fairly early Ocean Drake with no Scuttle Crabs up either. I got one.
Okay.
It's kind of a discussion point. It's relevant to Academy.
Cool.
Paul Belter made big news this offseason, not getting onto an LCS team. And he made a post talking about what he feels to be a misconception, that players that have played for a long time can't jump for. Get to that after this
Yep.
fight.
As Tuesday lands a stun, here comes the jungler. Fragas there as well. 2v2. Damonte is getting low. The damage will come through for Tuesday, but they will trade one right back as Fenix has shown up. He's roped in, and it's a quick 2-for-1. Nicely done here to Dignitas.
That is worth. Another kill on Akaadian. Ooh, and he gets to take the wave afterwards too. That's the best feeling as a jungler. But question is, Pobelter made the assertion that people think that experienced players can't improve. Is Dignitas' Academy team lazy for LCS players, or are they just trying to take the best available players, thinking that players can still continue to improve?
I think it's that, as Win just barely gets away, but Phil, gets away from the play as well. That's a Q, that's a kill. Damonte picks it up, and I agree that players with a lot of experience can still improve and get back to the top of the game. How long had Doimby been playing before he won Worlds?
Exactly.
Like, can you only be top 10% before that doesn't count anymore?
Yeah, it's just like the ways you improve, trying to find new ways of practicing, because I do think that if a player, as we're watching the slaughter in mid lane again.
Oh yeah.
I do feel like if let's take Lourlo for instance, as he's
getting attacked, does not get knocked up, but he's still stunned. Now it's a 2-on-2. Here's the regank onto Deus, flashes away, tries to kite, but the knockups are still there, and Lourlo completely collapses, but Fragas is gone as well. 7-1.
They're smurfing.
They're smurfing.
They're smurfing.
All right, I'll stop play-by-play.
I mean, you can. It's, you know, a break in discussions. Like, you know, when you're watching YouTube and like a random ad comes in? That's
no, I'm the random, annoying, unskippable ad. Thank you, chat. That is peak freak description. I'm the unskippable ad in the middle of this game.
That's not what I meant.
No, but it's how I take it.
But it is what I said. So, I don't know, maybe I have to own it. Yeah, so getting back to the overall discussion is like, looking at Lourlo, I think he's a player who has failed in LCS on a couple different occasions, but has continued to keep going. I would say he won't improve if when you talk to him, you say, hey, what went wrong? And he's like, nothing. Like, I'm good, I'm doing everything
Jungle
right.
difference.
Yeah, like if he's taking no responsibility and he's not changing anything, then yeah, I'd say that player couldn't improve anymore. But if you're able to identify things that went wrong, if you're able to consistently try new things to improve, if you're able to continue working, then I see no reason why playing for 4 years is a disadvantage in any possible way.
Yeah. FLICKR is still top 3 mid laner in the world.
Yeah.
He's been that since 2013.
But there's also 130 other mid laners who are worse than they used to, right? In comparison to the competition. So it obviously does cut both ways, and it's not to say that the experience is always the best. Sure. But I do partially agree with Pobelter that just because you've been playing pro for 5 years doesn't mean that you can no longer improve. That's the point.
I mean, and certainly to your point, the game improves. People get better, people get smarter, like, and the skills required change. So not only does your competition get better because they're playing, but also you need to shift your brain around. And yeah, some players actually will only ever be able to play one style, just because of how they're wired or you know, the ability to learn or whatever. And if that comes out of style, then they're not useful. Right. You know, like maybe Uzi is really bad in a Senna meta if he's like unable to play anything but Selfish Farm. But thankfully, League has always been in a spot where Selfish Farm bot lane is actually fine.
Yeah.
If that really did depart, where like actually the best bot lane is Senna, Sona, you share farm, you both go with Bellseeps, maybe Uzi's a bad AD carry in that situation.
Yeah. Or it's going to take him a really long time to adjust.
Yeah. Or it turns out Uzi's a super genius and he's like, actually, I can take 20 CS at 10 minutes and it's fine.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know, he hasn't had to be in that situation. But yeah, like, you look at players who are still on the top since forever, like Uzi, and it's like, well, clearly you've improved. 2020 Uzi is literally better at League of Legends than 2013 Uzi.
Yeah.
That's just an undebatable fact.
Yeah. Well, Dignitas going to take this 4K gold lead into Drake and go for it.
Wow, that is a very T-shaped skill shot as they split up. No knockup is there, but at least they get the Herald.
Yeah, Dignitas not necessarily grouped early. Having no ult on Akaadian will hurt, but I mean, just this monster gold lead I think is going to do a bit more.
All right, are they going to find something else to do? Throw the axe, not going to find the slow though, and Dignitas are going to just simply clear the wave. And we know that Drake is alive. They got the first one, pretty much on cooldown as it spawned. They take out the control ward, and they're ready to go for number 2 pretty soon. Damonte actually being pushed around a fair bit. did go for the arm guard, does have some extra tank stats for the matchup, but is not really clapping mid lane despite the early assists onto him. Quite the jungle difference, but there goes Akaadian. Free firing through this map. That's a free Chrono Drake. Easy smite, picks it up, Mountain Rift.
Yep, 2-level jungle advantage so far. Let's see if he can get that up to 4 by the end of the game. That will be the challenge. Still not very good turret damage, though, for Dignitas.
Yeah, melee match for the mid lane, gonna make that a little bit more difficult. Ult comes through, gonna find some decent damage here. Isn't gonna be enough. Ignite is on, flashes over, just dodged Cocoon. That was really, really close. I think Fragas could have gone for the execute if that had hit. Tuesday could have followed up, just wave through instead.
That was a cool shape both ultimates made when they popped off against each other. Watch late in the game, actually, the AP ratio on a stolen Irelia ultimate is nuts. So once Damonte has some items, really watch out. It's just a better Irelia ultimate when you have AP.
So quick at the resets, but you know what, that's okay. Big slam comes in, 3 plates gone, they hook in, and Elise, woo! Single clap, and Phil's gonna get pulled back as well. Q's in, gets aftershock on, damage towards Lourlo. This turret gonna drop down to his last plate. Fenix, woo! Deus takes him down with a well-timed ultimate. No knockup there because Olaf pops the ulti. 4 plates down the mid lane, kills traded back and forth.
Yeah, what happened to get Fenix to 5 health before the Ornn ultimate ended up taking him out? I think he might have just been
Draven on the side.
Yeah, Draven, but I mean, Fenix dies with flash and heal up. Really odd. Have to watch that one more time.
Well, now he's got to run away. Does have flash if he needs it. Certainly getting slowed a whole bunch. Finally burns that one. No more chasing tools left, but the summoner spell down. Good job, Dignitas. We look back to the state of the game, and it's a 4,000 gold lead. 2 Drakes to 0 in mid lane, about to be cracked open.
Yeah, when this replay comes up, we'll keep our eyes on Fenix. So we know the early part of the dive was good because the tag
pulled back with ult.
I feel like the turret must have gotten on her or something.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's too bad.
He has to stop watching this.
And then...
oh my.
Yeah, so... And then he really doesn't have time to flash or heal.
Yeah, the Ram was on top as he came out. That's rough. When someone else takes the lane from it, you're the one to third aggro.
And it's excusable, too, how he's like, oh, I don't need to flash or heal because the dive is no threat, and then Draven comes in.
Yeah, that's a rough one. All right, well, sometimes it happens. Turret does go down, though. Fenix getting the first turret claim on the scoreboard, but the gold is shared across everybody. Now, a lot of the reason people do pick Miss Fortune is her laning phase. They say that, you know, she's high priority because her laning is very, very good. You know, in a lot of late game situations, I would pick a lot of other champions.
Yep.
Pros are better at playing around the ultimate, not playing it in one spot. Draven does come out of the lane with a small gold, or at least a small CS lead. Of course, problem is Fenix was able to roam around and get a kill, so he's up in gold.
Yeah, Fenix and Olleh did a lot of roaming. MF, one of the 80 carries who's better at falling roams, just because you get so much move speed from your strut.
Yep, 60 base move speed. On rank 1 of the ability. But if you max, it's 100, Jeff. Strut max is great.
Is it higher win rate, like when you go to Lourlo?
By a lot.
How much?
It's like 4% or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, I suddenly became an MF main when I saw that. I'm like, oh, well, this is the build, clearly.
So, what you're saying is you should do Strut Max MF with W Max Drop. Because those are the two, like, secret OP
Yeah, secret OP
strats.
builds, yes. It's actually super, super strong.
You'd both be super fast.
You just, like, walk at them and you just, like, auto once, and then if they trade you back, you have 100% attack speed, so you win the fight afterwards.
Yeah, so the Jono runs up, W's, shields the Draven, and just, or sorry, shields the
Or
MF,
the
and just
Draven.
lets the MF put it down.
The other secret OP jet, by the way, is not going BT Rush on Draven, but either IE or Storm Racer. Also, 4% winner difference.
So I did see that.
Yeah.
My question is, IE having a higher win rate.
Is that because of snowballing?
I feel like that's on almost every champion who will ever build an IE.
Sure.
Like, show me a champion whose Bloodthirster win rate is higher than its IE win rate, and then, like, just literally show me one.
Yeah, but I don't think they exist because I think it's not the best rush item.
Yeah, well,
On, like, literally anyone.
yeah.
Like, I will posit the item is not worth building first on actually any champion in the game.
The reason it is sometimes built on Draven is just because your autos are so empowered, you are lifestealing more. Like, that's the logic behind it, but I think I agree with you.
Yeah, I think ultimately
There's
you don't need to
thousands of
think that
Draven
much.
mains that was
I know,
otherwise. Though.
but about a quarter of games, Dravens go for a crit item, and it's far more winning. And I understand the snowball point, right? That statistically, if you're winning, maybe you buy the bigger ticket item.
Right.
But I really do think
It's not that IE is a better rush item. It's that IE is built when winning, so therefore always has higher win rates.
But what's nice about a lot of those internal, like those online stat sites, is they'll also tell you the average time at which the item is built. And the IE is built a minute later than Bloodthirster because the item is more expensive. Or it's like the same time the item is about as expensive. So it's not like a 10-minute IE is better than a 12-minute Bloodthirster, because of course.
Yeah.
It's a 13-minute IE is as good as a 13-minute Bloodthirster, which means, well, they're getting it at the same time in the game.
Right.
But the item wins more.
Yeah.
Because you actually need to go into crit because you can't catch literally every axe, and it's still damage. So that is what I want to see down the line in the future. There are Draven buffs in 10.2, which will hit pro next week, so might see that come through even more often. Game right now is strike number 3, and again, picked up very early. We're set up for, I mean, what, a 22-minute Mountain Soul very, very early on. That's a nice hook on Deus. He's going to try to live, but of course he can't go for the back half of the ulti because he was CC'd. And now Damonte has his own ram. Slams him into the turret. Bullet time just does enough. Dignitas get another kill.
And they're going to push for a while because that's a Rift Herald that's down bottom, and the whole CLG team just showed
Save the health.
They do. Yep. But it's a slow little Shelly.
All right, there you go. Got all excited. There's no turret left. Okay, how about next one? This turret's going down. Oh, it's a good Draven ult, actually.
It is.
Maybe the turret won't die, actually. Okay, they're afraid of staying, getting CC in a turret. I understand that.
Don't want to throw.
Nope.
Got a Dragon Soul coming up in 4 minutes, 14 seconds. May as well get that Mountain Soul.
Dig Academy's really good.
Yeah.
Where would you put Dig, like, if there were 11 teams in the LCS and Dig Academy's team number 11, where would they place? It's okay to say 11th, but I don't think it's 11th.
I know. This is a conversation that I think will probably happen after every Dig Academy.
Yeah.
Where would they finish in the LCS? Because
17 of their 18 games will be the conversation.
I mean, it's always going to be a debate about, like, let's check the standings to see who's in last place.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're probably better than them.
Yeah.
Right? So at this point, it's like,
Team look
maybe
good in
Golden
CLG.
Guard. If you asked me yesterday, I say Immortals.
Sure.
But then Immortals beat TSM.
Yep.
So now you're starting to get into real dangerous territory for me.
And dangerous territory is where Damonte is as well. Picked off. Fragas pop a stopwatch just to make sure he doesn't get killed. But here comes the rest of Dig. Here comes the TP. Easy stun for Tuesday. Gets it. But now Deus has to run. Gets CC'd up. He's not going to have an easy way out. Burns the flash. Still chased down. Lourlo on a killing spree.
Man, they're crushing.
Yeah.
Even with Damonte being down. So I think the answer to your question, we don't have it yet, and I think we'll never be able to answer it just watching categories. But the way we'll get the answer is based on scrims. So
That's reliable.
well, it's just
No, of course.
Yeah, so fun fact, scrims have actually changed this year for LCS teams. They've taken the EU model. So NA model used to be 2 blocks of 3-hour scrims, and sometimes teams would triple block and play 3 blocks of 3-hour scrims throughout the day. This year, it is 1 block of 5 hours against 1 team. And then you fit in your solo queue and your VOD review and your other team activities around it. It's what Europe did last year, and it was really successful, so now NA teams are doing it. Another thing that happens with scrims is usually like top of the LCS, scrims top of the LCS, middle of the LCS, scrims middle of the LCS. And we heard like Meteos and Doublelift talking about this in the feature that we did. If you haven't seen it, just go to YouTube and look for the Meteos Doublelift aftermood, like search all famous player names in one video, and that's the one it is.
Yeah.
They chat for like 30 minutes. And Doublelift says like, hey, I think this whole scrim thing is a bit of a myth. Like teams generally scrim like they play. And Meteos said, well, wait a minute. Have you ever been in like the bottom bracket of scrims? And Doublelift says no.
Yeah.
And Meteos says, it's pretty wild down there. Where like the scrim game is actually so much different than the top level scrim game. There is yet another drop off between LCS teams and academy teams. What I hear usually is that you get like really poor quality scrims against academy teams when compared to LCS teams. My long-winded answer is if this Dig Academy team is consistently scrimming LCS teams, then they're going to be a 7th place team. But until teams are willing to like book them for scrims, they're not there.
Right. It's like, hey, I could scrim, you know, let's assume if CLG's bad this split. I'm not saying they're going to be, but like if they are, you're like, you could book CLG or you could book DIGA Academy. And you go, DIGA Academy's better practice.
Right.
That's when you get the call. That's when you're like, okay, they are, you know, 9th, 8th, whatever place LCS team.
And I think that should be a goal for this team. Like every single one of these former LCS players, they should be trying to practice against the LCS teams as much as possible.
Of course. And there's a couple of other Academy teams that were doing very well in practice. Again, I talked to Diamond, and he said that C9 Academy is doing very well in Academy scrims as well. So, yeah, you might see some of those sort of trade over with their Australian imports. You know, that team looks pretty good as well. And Golden Guards Academy also looks very good. And now we get to see this push down as Dig takes that one. No problems there. Easy 7,000 gold lead, and Mountain Souls in 12 seconds.
Here we go. It's an early Mountain Soul. You got to go for the steal, Fragas. It's not going to work. We got to try.
Nope.
You got to try.
I know. Well.
Dig's not even going to let him try.
Yeah,
they're just going to fight.
Pressure first.
Yep.
Nice knock up. They've stolen the Ornn ult again. Where's the cast, Damonte? They're going to knock down Phil. That's going to be number 1. And here comes the re-engage. No, it's Deus first. Here comes number 2. That's a second kill. That's a knock up onto the Draven. He's got to run away. Deus flashless. He's going to go down. That's 3 kills picked up with double here for Lourlo. And at some point, Akaadian goes solo the Drake. He's actually off to do that right now. The other 4 going to push. I like that divvying of resources. There's a kill on the turret. Tuesday dives a 1v4, but why bother? Gives away a kill for that one. Wave clear for win. That's all you need to do. That turret was already dead. Woo. And there's the solo.
Another nice fight by Dig. I like Damonte stealing the Ornn ult as well. Like, being able to last pick that Sylas. So if this is actually the way Sylas can stay,
yeah,
it would be great. Because it would be, let's see a game where I can steal really good ultimates and then I will pick Sylas.
Yep.
Because what I think used to happen is you could just instant lock Sylas because he's good enough, and it's like, it's not a valid draft strategy to, well, let's just not pick good ultimates. Because like, it turns out ultimates are a pretty important part of the game. So the counter picking like literally doesn't exist. But this one, it feels like Ornn is just like an exceptional ultimate. Like if you only pick Sylas into exceptional ultimates, that would be cool.
You get Ornn, you get Kennen, you get something really incredible.
Yeah, fight.
Ult the squad. Yeah. The knock up there, Akaadian just does not matter, of course. Hook, I think it doesn't quite land, but Dave's first to W to make it in case it did. And of course, a pretty easy chase down. As expected, DIGA Academy. Walking over this game.
Yep.
This is one of those 99-1 sort of games where I think it's really unlikely you ever get the comeback to happen, but you can certainly try. Phil is running, he anchors, buys a little bit of space, but there's the flash, there's the play, there's the kill. Fenix on a rampage. Woo! The flash forward, Lourlo wants it.
Oh my god, he's
One
level
more
15,
shot.
dude, he's so strong.
Running. Redemption snipe! Jumps
Nowhere
in the
to go.
air, but there's the shot. Akaadian grabs the axe, the play back in as well. Deus will he die before the ult? No, he's gonna get the shot off. Gets a knock up there. They might find a kill somewhere, but Fenix, that's unstoppable. That's a kill picked up. There's the double now as well, and Win is actually alone. He's 1v5, and he is running as fast as he possibly can. Aftershock might have helped a little bit, but not for long. There's the kill for Damonte. He goes down back to Phil, who has respawned and got some, you know, something on the board, but another kill picked up. 4-20. And CLG just gonna blaze through the base right now.
Yeah, still got Baron. Fragas is there. Akaadian's 3 levels up. Light stealing off here. Lourlo can TP back in after probably completing TA. Yep, there it is. This should be the game.
This should be the game, but first, it's KDA. It's KDA. Never gonna bring us down, 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 down. Do a little dance move. Knock down the Nexus. Good job, Dignitas.
Fist bumps and thumbs up all around, taking care of business. This Dignitas Academy team going to 2-0 and making the fully successful LCS debut for Dignitas. The 4-0 across Academy and LCS.
Yeah.
Gotta feel good for everybody involved.
Deathless in top, jungle, and support. Olaf absolutely took over that game. It started with the invade, then it turned into mid-pressure, and just nothing could go well for CLG Academy. Rough start for them. But time to go, right? There's 16 more games to play. And the whole point of Academy is getting better.
Yeah, man. they're going to win a lot of games here.
They really are.
If they all stay on this Academy team the whole year.
And I mean, the main squad's doing well, so there's no obvious subs I would bring in either.
Exactly. Whew.
Yeah.
That was what, like, I know it became a meme, Year of Lourlo, like 2 or 3 years ago, when everyone was like, this could be his year.
He was doing pretty well.
And then he had like a good first 3 weeks and then fell off.
Yeah.
He has the Year of Lourlo name on
he does. It's
solo queue now, so he's like kind of on the meme. But like to see Lourlo be 70 CS up on Aatrox, like 507, like if you could ever get that type of performance, you'd want to move him up. But you always have to wonder about like these cross comparisons. Like Lourlo is to an LCS top laner what? And then Lourlo is to these Academy top laners what? Because it almost feels like this DIGA Academy team is somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
It'll be really interesting to see a dominant Academy team this year and what that ends up meaning for these players long term.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 thoughts I have in mind, right? So one is, I mean, exactly to your point, like this is why these players are here. Is no one quite wanted to sign them, right? Akaadian couldn't quite find an LCS team. Damonte couldn't quite find an LCS team. Olleh couldn't quite find an LCS team. So Dig signs them as, okay, well, we'll hold their contracts. And when you need a good AD carry, or you need a good jungler, or you need a good mid laner, you know, call us up, right?
They were good.
And that's a possibility. But also, I mean, we've seen things like with C9 Academy squad. Like sometimes you get a bunch of good Academy players, and you're like, okay, now when you need players, you know, it's ultimately the same point again.
Yeah.
But you know, these players came from LCS down. They're going to come back at some point.
Absolutely. All right, let's send it down to page time for an interview with Akaadian and Damonte of Dignitas Academy.
Thank you very much, Chad. I am, in fact, here with the mid lane and jungler of Dignitas Academy. Akaadian, I have to know, was that level 1 prepared? Because that looked really filthy.
Yeah. I mean, Elise can't really do anything against Olaf, so most of the time you're just supposed to ward if you're playing Elise. You need to ward level 1 to see if you're getting level 1 evaded, and then you just hope that you gamble right, I guess. And that time I gambled correctly from my side, so it's just really rough for him, yeah.
Certainly seemed like a Damonte for you. Sylas, not a champion we see that often. Do you feel like it's something that should be seen more? Is it just specifically a counter pick for this matchup? What was the thinking there, or did you just feel like playing Sylas?
I mean, Sylas, since like the mini change, like the mini rework, is a pretty good champ. But to be honest, I kind of just randomized my champ. I didn't really know what to pick because it was like a really weird scenario that I was in. So I was just like, Sylas looks good here, and I picked it. You know, I played okay. I didn't really do much, but I got carried by big Akaadian.
Certainly does seem like the synergy is building up. Are you guys enjoying playing together? It seems like it's been just a ridiculous start for Dignitas Academy.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly pretty cool, the timeline that happened for me this year, because over the last like year and a half, I'd say Tanner's like one of my best friends, and then we just ended up playing on a team together, and I think that helps a lot with just, I don't know, whenever we have issues with each other, we just said it like really instantly, like, you need to do this better, or sorry, like we apologize to each other, we ever like flame each other in scrims or something, or anything happens, it's just really instant, and yeah, it's pretty fun to play so far.
Do you feel the same?
No. Yeah. Yeah, I do, of course. I mean, he's my best friend, you know, we hang out all the time, do some stuff together. And what? No.
So
and that was no, it's a good time, you know. I think originally we were like kind of worried maybe that it would change our friendship, but if anything, it made us just a better teammates.
So for you then, of course, as both of you have been in the LCS recently as last year, what are the plans now on such a stacked Academy team? Are you looking to play back into the LCS?
Oh yeah, well definitely it's like all of our goals to get back in the LCS. I think right now we're just really focused on what's in front of us. You know, we're all in this situation for a reason, and we all want to just win Academy and prove that, you know, we belong in the maiden league.
So on winning Academy, what is the likelihood you guys drop games this season?
I mean, it's definitely possible. I feel like, I don't know. It really depends on how good the other teams get, I think. The other teams like Synergy, I think we just have so much experience on our team where like the normal team things that you're supposed to do, like how to rotate around the map, which side's weak side, strong side, etc. Those are things that like the new players need to learn, I think. So it just depends on if other teams can get good enough. But I mean, we've definitely dropped games in scrims. We've gotten stomped in scrims before as well. So it's not like we can't lose a game. We just happen to play really well. But this weekend and recently, I guess, so.
All right, well, congratulations to both of you of excellent showing of games this week. We're going to toss it back to the caster desk to wrap up the day.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. Glad to hear those two guys having fun together.
It's
and
good.
that, you know, if you fail to gank my lane, it's not friendship over. You know, like, I'm
Not
sorry,
yet.
man.
No, I'm
that was my fault. You know, we'll get it better next time. It's beautiful stuff. I like those two players a lot. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 more Academy games to finish out the week, starting at 2 p.m. Don't forget to stick around after Academy for the premiere of Monday Night League, starting at 5 p.m. LCS.
Looking at that EG versus 100 Thieves game, and especially the TLTSM game. After what happened today, oh, spicy.
Yeah, someone's got to go 0-2, which is a surprise. Deep Liquid fans, of course, again, they are playing with a sub in the jungle. Sure and Fire was supposed to be the Academy starter, not the LCS starter. They're going to hope to get Brox for week 2. TSM, though, does not want a 0-2 when they thought Immortals should have been an easier fight, and a not full power Team Liquid should be winnable as well.
Yeah, and we have a moment before sign-off to preview this Monday Night League. Like, that TSM loss, it's kind of embarrassing for the org, right?
Sure.
With what they did and what they said in the offseason, bringing in all these players, to Immortals who didn't have their full roster practicing together until like a week ago.
Yeah.
You can't lose that game to start the season. Obviously, you can easily recover. There's 18 games in the split.
Yeah.
That was a bad loss.
Bad loss. We'll see if they can turn it around. Now for myself, the rest of the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for the Monday set of games. Going on, Fragas. He's going to have to flash over the wall. The flash follow Akaadian is going to chase. Land 2 more Qs and he's dead. There's the first. There's the swing.
Kill earlier.
Double kill.
Yeah. Nice.
But now Deus has to run, get CC'd up. He's not going to have an easy way out. Burns the flash, still chased down.
I'm bot, guys. I'm bot. Just end, guys. I'm bot. I'm bot.
Is that?
Oh no!
You okay?
Nice. Okay.